In September 2025, we headed to Peru to hike the Salkantay Trek. Over 5 days, we made our way to Aguas Calientes, the gateway to Machu Picchu. We visited alpine glacial lake, traversed a high mountain pass in the snow, hiked through lush jungle and visited ancient ruins rich with Inca history and culture. As we approached our destination, low cloud descended. Would we miss out on the iconic Machu Picchu photograph? Located in the Peruvian Andes, our Salkantay Trek adventure starts in the city of Cusco. With an elevation of 3,399 meters, this is an ideal location to acclimatize prior to the trek. The 5-day Salkantay Trek begins in Soraypampa beneath towering Andean peaks, then climbs to the 4,600-meter Salkantay Pass for sweeping glacial views. From there, the trail descends dramatically into warm cloud forests and follows the Santa Teresa Valley through coffee farms and tropical landscapes. The route then climbs up to Yactapata for a sunny first glimpse of Machu Picchu before continuing along the valley to Aguas Calientes, finishing with an early morning visit to the citadel itself. Our Salkantay Trek will end with a train and minibus journey back to our accommodation in Cusco. It was an early 4 a.m. pickup and a 3-hour journey to Challacancha, where the trek would commence. We are here. We are finally arrived at the beginning of the Salkantay Trail. It's our big trip of 2025. Oh my God, it's been an epic just getting here, so we just want to get going. You can feel the elevation, our breath already. But anyway, we're here, the weather's good, so let's do this. The first section was a short and steep climb, and whilst not difficult, we were already close to 3,800 metres above sea level, so it felt pretty tough. So we've just made it up to the top of the first climb. It was like straight up about 200 metres. As Murray just said there, a proper baptism of fire. But I think that's the worst of the climb until we hike up to Humantay Lake later on, and now we're on this flattish section. It's nice, and the clouds are just lifting off the tops. Oh my God, it does look absolutely stunning.
Okay, cool. Looks pretty good.
Wow.
Comfy bed.
It was great to arrive at our overnight accommodation, the Sky Camp in Soraypampa. However, before settling down for the evening, there was an optional hike to the nearby Humantay Lake. Located at an altitude of 4,250 meters, this turquoise glacial lake is known for its stunning scenery, with snow-capped peaks and clear blue-green water. We were definitely not going to give this a miss. The second day of the Salkantay Trek is the longest, with over 10 hours of hiking. Traversing the Salkantay Pass, it also reaches the highest point of the trek at 4,630 meters. We woke for an early breakfast and set off just after daybreak. It was damp and cold. The clear skies from the previous evening were gone. The clouds looked ominous.
Well done, guys. Well done. Colder than Killy. Oh.
It was freezing on the pass and no place to hang around. After a brief photo stop, we descended down towards the jungle and our accommodation for the day at Collpapampa.
That is beautiful, isn't it?
Are you okay?
Yeah. Shouldn't need jackets, hopefully, or heavy hats.
After the snow yesterday, it was great to wake up to mild conditions and a straightforward hike through the Santa Teresa Valley to our accommodation for the evening at the Jungle Domes. Our guide informed us that due to the recent dry conditions, we will be able to take the westerly hiker's path, which is often closed in the wet season due to landslides. It was a leisurely hike and really enjoyable. In contrast to the previous day's exertions, we were finished by lunchtime, and with plenty of time left in the day, we stopped off at an organic coffee plantation where we will get the opportunity to roast our own coffee beans.
This here, this coffee filter. Yeah, coffee filter. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers, salud, salud, salud.
Salud.
Cheers to the coffee.
Here's my Peruvian coffee, we just made. Ooh, that is a strong coffee.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
After the coffee making experience, we made the short journey to the jungle domes for lunch and a free afternoon. Some of our group headed off to the hot springs at Collpapampa, and I highly recommend this if you get the opportunity, as the water is warm and relaxing. Once back, we chilled out. Tomorrow will be our last big day as we closed in on Machu Picchu. Day 4 will be our final day of trekking, and with plenty of distance to cover, we were out on the trail at 6 a.m. In the morning, we will be hiking up to Llactapata, an archaeological site overlooking the Santa Teresa Valley towards Machu Picchu. In the afternoon, we will be following the train tracks from Hydroelectrica to our destination for the evening, Aguas Calientes. It was 800 meters of ascent from accommodation at the jungle domes to Llactapata, and whilst the path was steep in places, it was a steady climb and the views were amazing.
That's just incredible.
Why didn't he want us to go for the shortcut then?
Do not do the shortcut.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah, he had 10 minutes down, and then
Yay!
woo, we made it! Oh,
High five!
what's that mean?
It took just over 2 hours to reach the high point, and after a pause for celebration, we emerged from the trees to Llactapata and our first view of Machu Picchu, 5 kilometers in the distance. It truly was a sight to behold.
Because as you know, Machu Picchu is very famous, the very famous Inca builder, no? Yeah.
We relaxed and learnt all about the history of the ruins. Our guide was very knowledgeable and it was really interesting. This is one of the advantages of a guided tour. You're able to ask questions and really immerse yourself into the culture and history. Once complete, we set off downhill towards Hydroelectrica and the final stretch towards Aguas Calientes.
Seems like a lot of work. We're not bad. We gotta be quick. The home stretch.
We awoke to rain and low cloud, not the weather we wanted for our visit to Machu Picchu. This hadn't deterred anyone though, and the buses that would transport us up to the entrance were full. There are a number of circuits for Machu Picchu, and we were fortunate to have tickets for Circuit 2, which covers all the main temples and allows you to get the classic postcard view of Machu Picchu. Unfortunately, when we arrived at the photo shot, cloud was shrouding the view, so we decided to wait.
No, like that was like farming area. Now it's like retaining wall or ornamentation, yes.
How many people lived here?
Here, according to those houses, here in Machu Picchu, there are like 215 houses. According to those houses, we can estimate how many Incas or nobles were living in Machu Picchu. Around like 800 people or like 1,000 people here. 1,000 people, 1,000 people, according to those houses, yes. Yeah, also this is the end of the Inca trail. That's the end of the Inca trail. This Inca trail came from Cusco. No, Cusco, Sacred Valley, crossing many mountains to get here in Machu Picchu.
And this goes into the city.
That is the end of the city, yes. This goes straight to Machu Picchu. That's the main entrance way to enter Machu Picchu Inca city, yes. Until here, no, they came in farmers. After this one, yes, nobles, yes. Okay, also this Inca city also was, so Machu Picchu was scored by Hiram Binga, 1911, on July 24. Also this classic famous Inca trail also was scored by the same guy, but in 1915. No, because Hiram Binga, he was following this Inca trail, no, to Cusco.
All the way to Cusco.
Along the way, yeah, also they, and Mary.
Thank you.
Mandroid.
The Salkantay Trek had lived up to all expectations and is a great alternative to the Inca Trail. Whilst our adventure was over, there was still time for a celebratory pisco sour before we jumped on the train and headed back to Cusco.